So we have just introduced you the three strata of the industry. So basically we can understand the relationship from primary to secondary and tertiary from this picture. So the cotton turns into a dress through manufacturing. You see the relationship from primary industry to secondary industry, right? But then when this manufactured cloth become a product to be sold, we change from the manufacturing perspective into a service perspective. So from secondary industry into tertiary industry, the characteristic of the clothing change. It's from a manufactured product into it become one of the product of the service. This is quite easy to be understood. But when we back to the relationship between the tertiary and the primary is a little bit different. We're no longer thinking about the cotton, okay? We're thinking about the transportation. So back to this vehicle. So again, this vehicle itself is a transport, right? And this transport is a service provided to the farmer, representing the primary industry. So this relationship we have to understood in another way by understanding that actually transportation is one of the service categorized as a tertiary industry. And well, for the green arrows, it's a little bit difficult. So I repeat again. So you're no longer considering how the cotton itself changed into the clothing and become a product. Now we consider all other possible materials or service to consider the relationship between or among the industry. Okay. So again, cotton now is not the raw materials to be manufactured into a clothing. Cotton itself is one of the materials that let the transport can earn money. So now the transportation provides a service, and it is transporting cotton from, for example, the farm into the other places, into a factory. So this transportation itself is tertiary industry. Okay, so cotton for transportation. Okay. But while here again we consider service as a transport. So to move the manufactured clothing into other places, just like shops, this again required transportation, right? So again, using the idea of transportation, you can see the relationship between tertiary industry and secondary industry. So whenever you have to think the relationship from tertiary industry into other, probably you can think one of the example will be transportation. Okay. And then another arrows to illustrate how secondary industry help the production of primary industry. One of them is that to provide tools for planting cotton. Okay, we're not denying that we can't plant cotton by a very primitive, raw way. We can do it. We can do it by hand, but it will be slow. So to enhance the production, to make the production quicker, or try to plant more cotton, we have to think of using tools, right? But where are the tools from? One of them is to be manufactured. So whenever we talk about manufacturing, again, back to the strata of industry, we will think about secondary industry. And that's the reason why secondary industry is actually helping the production of primary industry. And this is the illustration of this green arrow. Okay, so to sum up, you see these relationship illustrating that different strata industries are helping each other. And we use one word to explain the relationship. It is an interdependent relationship.